The thing, honestly, that is also bothering me about it, and I'll admit to this, is the idea of like them saying like, you know, if you damaged your own product, you know, your warranty's not going to cover it. And it's like, that's fair, I understand that. But I damaged it because of the damn drifting to begin with. Like, that's... I'll admit, especially in Mortal Kombat, I've thrown my fucking controller in frustration, but these problems came from the drifting. Like, if it weren't for just the terrible fucking hardware defect to begin with, as you can hear me actively shouting, like, these things wouldn't have happened. And even then, like, Nintendo builds their shit like it's indestructible, so I don't necessarily feel guilty about it anyway. The amount of times I've dropped my 3DS and panicked has been way too high, all for it to not really matter because Nintendo built it with that in mind. They knew people were gonna drop their shit. They're not stupid. Alright, move over a sec. Let's see if we can lure you down here. Like, that's kind of terrible to say that you don't really have to worry too much about treating your stuff like gold because it's built for punishment. Like, they make it so that a child can handle using it and stuff like that. Just... it kind of kills reasons to care. I mean, I still want to take care of my stuff as much as possible. One more time, thank you. But it definitely gets rid of the immediate threat or scare factor behind it. Doppelganger likes to kill his victims according to how they lived. Guns, knives, bombs. For the fatty holed up in this house abusing animals, he stuck a bomb in his gut and blew him up. Turn back now if you're afraid. Doppelganger's a nice guy. He's just misunderstood. Oh yeah, I don't really like these guys at all. Because they like to kind of just hide and pop up and be annoying, and just, like, especially when they start mixing in these enemies, and you know, I didn't want to do that. I mean, I wanted to, but I wanted to do it like a few minutes ago. Like, when they start mixing things up, it, you know, naturally becomes harder. Well, but yeah, then you gotta try and focus on individual enemies and be like, okay, well, I can't do this because I got this idiot to take care of because he's stupid and annoying, and yeah. Get up, Travis. Travis! Oh, he wasted my fucking throw. Kill him. Less of a concern now. Looking at my health, I'm like, I'll be alright. So here's another funny little discussion. And I think it's funny the way people seem to perceive me, because I've been told by some people that, like, I seem or come across as like a super serious person. And I hate serious people. Like, I hate emotionless vacuums who have never felt joy in their life and don't laugh at anything. Those people I loathe. Like, they're my active worst enemies in life. But I think it's funny that people think that of me, because it's like, if you watch even a single one of my videos, you know that that's absolute bullshit. But it's just, it's funny to think how other people see you and how you're like, nah, that's not right. Like, I've also been told that I'm a quiet person. Like, no, I'm not. I'm loud, obnoxious, and annoying. Like, I might be quiet around you because I don't really care about you or like you, but I am not a quiet person. I'm not a serious person. And it's just, it's so weird to me how someone else can see you in a way that's totally different from your own self-perception. Like, I'm quiet in the sense that it's like, sure, I'll sit down and watch my videos with my headphones on because I don't want to be disrespectful, but, like, that has nothing to do with anything. And that's the other thing, is I don't tell anybody, nobody that I know in real life knows that I do this. Like, that's not a thing I discuss, ever. I'm not the kind of person who walks around and flaunts and like, yeah, I've got a YouTube channel, I've been making videos for 10 years. Like, I don't care. I'm not gonna say I don't want you to watch it, but it's not a priority of mine. Another thing about the whole perception thing is I've also heard, because I remember back in high school, people would crack jokes being like, oh, this is the next 40-year-old virgin, and now people seem to think I'm like a player and a womanizer, and it's like, it's kind of funny how things change. Like how, I don't know, I don't understand. I feel like I'm not going to say about the same as high school, I'm going to say more mature than in high school, definitely. But, well, that was a bad idea. This is a very bad idea. Travis, we're just not going to touch that one ever again. We're going to have to touch that one ever again. We're just going to have to lower him up here first. But yeah, generally, as a rule of thumb, I don't tell anybody I make videos. The only people who really did were, like, my roommates back in university, because they kind of didn't have a choice but to know. It wasn't the thing where I, like, told them willingly. It was a fact of they heard me screaming in my room at video games and they wanted to know why, and that's all there is to it. There was one guy, he thought it was hilarious to, like, just sit in the living room in silence and hear me go like, fuck! And stuff like that, so he thought it was great. That'll work. But other words, like, it's just not a thing I tell people, and it does annoy me, like with Google and stuff, because I've noticed checking my emails that, like, it'll address me under my YouTube alias, and I'm like, no, that's not something you should be doing. Employers do not need to know that I do this. That I don't want them looking me up and seeing all this bullshit. Like, I do my, god damn it, Travis, my best to keep, like, those lives, so to speak, separate from each other. I was gonna say, I don't think that's gonna fix it.
We need something different. I don't know if I'd say this is gonna fix it either, but this is a way I haven't been before, so this is probably a bad idea. Actually, no, yeah, that was a bad idea. Alright, this is kind of annoying. Not difficult, just tedious. Because it's basically forcing a timer on your own actions. So it's like you can't stop, think, and take your time. I think it was this one. No, shit. So instead of like, okay, let's, be strategic and think about what to do with this, right? Doesn't feel right. I'm looking because I can see where it, like, connects. Yeah, that's it. I noticed that was kind of fucked once I saw that see how it connects there? That's what I'm looking at. I noticed it was fucked when I saw that his sides were taking up the whole damn street, and I was like, yeah, this is, a bad situation that I don't think I can get myself out of. This is what happens, you try and think, and that big boy brain doesn't want you to do that. And now it's flipped the other way, and oh, wait, I need to go up there? So I was busy focusing on, that direction over there. I don't know how I didn't get that. But see, isn't there, like, isn't that it? Alright. I promise to God, this is not nearly as difficult as it apparently is now. Like, I don't understand. Fucking... Didn't struggle before, no one's ever gonna believe you because you're recording and there's evidence to the contrary. Say something positive, something negative happens. I need you to leave me alone. You're not supposed to be going at 90 miles an hour, you're supposed to be going at, like, 3.
There, finally. See, I have to hit the fucking dodge thing because Travis doesn't always move the way he's supposed to. According to Doppelganger, Murdy was duty, his work, his fun, and his pleasure. He was a brilliant killer precisely because he loved killing so much. Sorry, I sneezed. In this house, in front of the whole family, he killed their father. But nobody even pressed charges. It's like they were waiting for him to do it. So I take that line as in... Oh, I remember this one. As in, like, how to say... He let them live? I don't know if that's the truth. But that's kind of like what it sounds like, is they decide to let the rest of the family live and let him get away with it. Alright, stop. Fucking, why is it not working? I'm hitting the stupid idiot buttons! See, that we can blame on the game. It's just like, oh, I'm sorry, were you getting hit when you were busy trying to do stuff? It's wasted. No, it fucking shouldn't be. Come on, I'm not telling you to stop. Stop acting like a jackass. I'm so over this terrible hardware. Like, this is also a thing where it's like I kind of wished I had waited to buy a Switch, because I feel like had I have done that, you know, a lot of things could have been remedied, but at the same time, like, I hate this about gaming today, it feels like if you're not in the now, it doesn't matter later. Like, wow. I remember this being a thing during, like, the whole Mortal Kombat 11 deal. Yeah, they have idiots that can turn off your abilities, and that's really dumb. Where, like, they were talking about Towers of Time or whatever, and the main question I was waiting for and asking and wondering if they were going to ask him was, will this game be worth playing 10 years from now? Because that, to me, that's a very important question. Ask yourself that. Like, that's what I think about with something like Splatoon and Mario Maker as well. Will this game be worth playing 10 years from now? If the answer's no, it's not worth buying. Grandpa's words of wisdom. Indie games are fun. You should check out Rasho's work. There you'll find the truth. I don't know who Rasho is, but good job, I guess. Debating whether or not I want to take this moment to heal. Let's do it now. Come on. Make them slow so they can't deal with you and you can heal yourself up. But yeah, no, that's a big deal to me, because I feel like that's a thing that for whatever reason people don't think about anymore. Like there's certain things about a lot of old games that people don't consider, and one of them, firstly, is longevity. Like, think about why you play some of your favorite games over and over again. Like, I like Breath of the Wild, yes. But I pray to God that they do not make this a forever trend, because I don't think it's... I don't like fucking 30-hour... That's not even 30-hour, that's 100-hour games. Like, I don't understand how people can enjoy that. And I feel like that's also... See, like, I'm hitting this idiot and it's not fucking working. Like, think about Mario 64, right? People still obsessively play that, firstly, because it's not dependent on some sort of online communication thing that's going to eventually expire and become irrelevant, and secondly, because it's not a 100-hour game. Yeah, it was a good thing I healed. Like, having games that take forever to do kills a lot of replay value, because you're not going to want to go through all that bullshit again. It's just not worth it. That's my opinion, at least. You're the sheep, man. So, like, that's a thing. Like, I like certain games, but it's like, God, I don't ever want to play them again. It was too much of a hassle the first time. Now, I appreciate the amount of hard work and content they put into each game to try and make it worth it. And, like, I'm not going to argue that, but I also feel like there's a lot of things with the games industry that are super different 20 years ago versus now.